Greetings, YouTube. I know in the 21st century, many people are concerned with all of the icky types of chemicals that can be found in modern foods. I'm going to link to an article that shows the breakdown of 3 completely chemical-free natural foodstuffs. In this particular case, it is a banana, blueberries, and an egg. So I would like you to go and read that description of the ingredients of these completely 100% natural products, and then come back here, because the rest of my video probably won't make a lot of sense to some people if they don't do that. So, go! Oh, you're back. Excellent. Now, the reality is, of course, that everything that we put into our mouths are chemicals. Everything. Every foodstuff you consume is a chemical, including the only rock that you'll probably take on a regular basis, salt. The idea that there are chemical-free foods is sort of insane. It makes absolutely no sense. Also, when they foods say organic, there isn't any legal definition of organic, so that can mean all kinds of stuff. We're really keen if we had a truly defined legal definition of organic, but that would be more of those evil, horrible government regulations now, wouldn't it? We can't have that. But real-life foods, unadulterated, natural foods, are just composed of chemicals. Lots of chemicals. I recommend you look at Isaac Asimov's book on chemistry, also the Periodic Kingdom. I think I may actually still have that book in my collection. I've been weeding out quite a bit of the books in my collection that I don't need anymore. I think I kept that one because my wife was interested in reading it. But it really helps to show you, if you look at the periodic table, how the chemicals are related to each other and how, in many ways, they are nested. They're like pachinko dolls. Is it pachinko dolls? Oh, I can't. I never say that right. But the nesting Russian dolls. And that's very much how chemicals work. Each one building on the other, more complexity over time as they combine in different ways through processes sometimes involving heat, sometimes involving chemical reactions with other chemicals, forming more and more complex structures, some naturally and some artificially. But all the chemicals involved are natural. Now, some of the chemicals we can end up at the end are artificially created, but they're created out of natural building blocks. We haven't invented any new chemicals. We have just discovered existing chemicals, and sometimes we find interesting ways to put them together that may not be found in nature. But even the most natural food known to man is full of chemicals. Water is a chemical. And I've done a satirical video about that myself. Some people caught the joke, some didn't. And whether you're eating a vegan diet or you're like myself, an omnivore who enjoys the odd pig, in fact, I picked up some pig today, it's all chemicals, folks. And you need to remember that. Now, you could say, okay, I don't want certain chemicals in my food. All right, you're entitled to that. You can say I should want to know what chemicals are in my food. Okay, I don't have a problem with that. But there is nothing but chemicals in your food. Always has been, always will be. If you can find a way of consuming pure energy, tell me, because you will win the Nobel Prize, unless I steal it from you, and then I will win the Nobel Prize. But we don't know how to absorb just energy and survive. We do know how, however, to absorb chemicals and survive, and we're remarkably good at that. Well, I shouldn't say remarkably good at that. We're not the most efficient organism in the universe. Human beings aren't, they're not the most, percentage-wise of food we get out, which is one of the reasons that the Matrix was so absolutely absurd. We get a lot less energy out of humans than you put into humans, because you lose a lot of that, waste heat and things like that. So, if you're looking for chemical-free foods, you're gonna starve to death. You best evolve that absorbing energy thing I mentioned a few minutes ago. Otherwise, you're gonna have to just bite the bullet, also made of chemicals, and admit that you are consuming chemicals. Now, which chemicals you consume, well, That's an argument for another day. But don't think for a second. Everything you don't eat isn't made of chemicals.